What do you know about Zoe Ball that we don't? The annual report that I've got here in front of me shows her salary. I mean, it stands out like a sore thumb in the list of presenters on radio, including the Radio 1 breakfast show presenter. Annual report shows her salary of £1.36 million for just the breakfast shows, circa 210 editions of the Zoe Ball breakfast show. That, despite losing 1 million listeners, 9.1 to 8.1, since she took over from Chris Evans. So Ken Bruce, who follows her, is paid $385,000. He's reportedly got 8.27 million listeners. So Zoe is paid more than the next 3 presenters who follow her put together. What do you know about Zoe Ball that we're all missing?
Well, I think the point here is, I mean, if I can, if you allow me just to say quickly on the overall topic of talent pay, I mean, you would expect me to say this, but we've got 28,000 people who appear on our screens and airwaves.
They're not all paid £1.3 million, are they?
Of course not. In fact, only one of them is, or 2 if we take, so that's 2 out of 28,000.
Mm-hmm.
We've got 70, that's really my point, 76 people on the list, and we are seeing, the overall kind of list being managed down, I think, in the right way. The point here is, and this is uncomfortable territory, but we've always had, in the realm of entertainment, a couple of areas where we are, without doubt, and I understand this, but look at the NAO report on the market for talent and what we pay. It's very uncomfortable territory, but the truth is, in a couple of spots, and that is high-end TV entertainment and the main breakfast show of Radio 2, we've always been in the market, and go to Google and have a look at some of the speculated prices on other networks that people are paying, that we pay serious money. Now, on the listening figures, I understand the point, but the truth is that this is still 0.1 pence per listener hour. I still think Zoe, as an exceptional broadcaster, offers value. Having said all that, and you're seeing the negotiation we've done with Gary Lineker, I think we are renegotiating contracts, and we and myself want to get good value for you as a licence fee payer.
Well, maybe his 400k went to top up Zoe. I just don't get it, Tim. I mean, that stands out in the list in your annual report. I mean, it's like a flashing light. And she's lost 1 million listeners. I mean, she must have the best agent in the business. I want to know who that agent is.
Well, if you look at the historical rate for the Radio 2 breakfast show and the talent we attract, which is essentially people who are looking at entertainment options across television and radio and internationally, and it does put them in a slightly different category, then we always get to a point where we're in the top 2 or 3 people being paid for by the BBC. But don't get me wrong, I mean, I think even, I think there are clearly, and I've inherited some of this, you've seen what we've done with Gary. I want to make sure that we are getting better, as best value we can in the market and better value where we can. So I understand it. I mean, I would say, by the way, that some of the commentary on this, if I may, if we got everyone down to 150,000, that would save the BBC 10 million. The over 75s cost us 700 million. Now, on that 10 million, we need to keep doing our work. I take the point. But on that 10 million, that accounts for 40% of our viewing and listening. And if you look at myself as I spent a lot of my last few years working in the international market, fighting for talent. There is an element of hyperinflation around here as all these services pile in, and people with TV personality and profile will be difficult to get. I'm all for developing young talent. I'm all for taking more risk or opportunity, we might call it, with younger talent coming through, or developing talent, I should say. But I absolutely think that we're going to have a few people, and it is really a very small number of people where we're in a bit of a market. With Zoe in particular, she's an outstanding broadcaster. We are in a renegotiation, and we're looking at where we go forward.
All right. Well, all I would say is, if you want to bring on new talent, she's a good broadcaster, but she has many other gigs. She does the Strictly show. If you want to bring on other people, maybe you should spread the love around a little bit more. Because when we come on to talk about regional broadcasting later, which my colleague Julie Elliott will, there are plenty of people out in the regions who would love to see a tiny slice of that money go to save huge parts of regional broadcasting. And I just would